Axie has just released a breeding event. You're going to have to combine Axies to get different special parts. In this video, I'm going to be covering all of that, how to do it, some of the best strategies that you can go looking forward, and more. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'm Blackedout from Player vs. Meta, and let's get right into this video. So first thing, if you are buying Axies and you want to support this channel, all you got to do is use this Lunacian code. It doesn't cost you anything. It just gives me 1% of the transaction fee. So Lunacian's hottest breeding event is here. Over 50 days. So for the next 50 days, you can breed limited edition summer Axies. You also are introduced a twist, shiny skins. Please note that starting now, all breeding automation is banned for the duration of this event. What this means is if you have some thing like Cerebro or any other type of program, you cannot use this right now. So make sure you stop using all your automations so you don't risk getting banned at all. So for this, there is going to be these skins here. You're going to need to have Watermelon plus Unco, Strawberry Shortcake plus Unco, Eggshell plus Unco, Balloon plus Red Ear, Balloon plus Furball, Blossom plus Neo, Silent Whisper plus Risky Fish, Cloud plus Cottontail, and Sea Slug plus Yen. So the way that this works is if you have one Axies with both of these, you got to breed into one of the dominant genes, and you have 100% chance with most of these to get it. Only ones that don't are the Eggshell plus, Unco, and the Balloon plus Red Ear. Those are the only ones that have a 13% chance of getting it and a chance of not. So like really what you want to be looking for is probably like a Watermelon plus Unco, a Balloon plus Furball, a Blossom plus Neo, a Silent Whisper plus Risky Fish, stuff like that. That's what you want to be looking for. Also, the dominant genes from Axie number 2 must be transferred to the child for the summer skin to appear. So you're probably going to want to breed the Axies like 4 times just to make sure you can try and get the dominant from Axie number 2. So it's going to be from these Axies here. So the dominant from this one. So you need to get the Unco from these 3 to go over to this Axie. Same thing with this. You need the Furball, you need the Neo, you need the Risky Fish, you need Cottontail, and you need the Nyan. So having ones that have like really deep Unco, or having ones that have really deep Furball, like all 3, like all 3 of the genes being, Furball, 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 will probably give you a higher percent chance. And then you're going to want one that's like a dirty gene with the Balloon, only giving it like a 37% chance, so you won't have a chance of getting it as high. As well for here, it's only just a 1% chance that you're going to get a shiny, so you just got to get lucky to get the shinies. And again, these have 13% chance, so these ones are going to be really lucky to be able to get the Red Ear / Eggshell, even if you hit the Unco and you hit the Red Ear. So, if you want to take a big risk, these are the riskiest ones to breed, while these ones are pretty safe because everything else here is 100% chance that you'll get the summer, as long as you hit the Furball and the Neo. I think it's important to go into the questions because I think this will give you a little bit more detail about what you're going to want to do and kind of how this event works, because there's some things to note in the question section that will really help you and will make it so you only need to, like, the focus goes down quite a bit for what you're doing. So here, how to obtain an Axie with summer parts. For a chance of obtaining a summer part, trainers will need to breed 2 Axies with very specific body parts. Each of these body parts combined have a percentage chance to produce a summer part. These parts have the same stats as the existing parts, but with limited edition skin. So here are the visual guide for it. Trainers can breed Axies with multiple parts in one breeding session to increase their chances of obtaining parts. So this is just saying you can breed, an Axie that has multiple of these parts together. So if you have like a 9 plus Sea Slug, you have a Cottontail plus Cloud, and it's on 2 different Axies, and you breed those together, you do have a better chance of getting it. This is what it shows, like Silent Whisper plus Neo, and then Risky Fish plus Blossom. You have a chance of getting both of them on the same one. And then it also talks about this. Summer parts are also hereditary. That means that Axies with summer parts can pass their traits down to their children for the duration of this event. This is actually a huge thing. So the way that this works is if you get a one with bubble or, summer glasses, and you have 2 different breed forms of this, you can breed those 2 together to guarantee that you'll have the bubble plus the summer glasses. And then all you need to do is start breeding in more parts here. So if you want to have a chance to increase your odds, and you have ones with recessive genes of other parts, you can mix them together. And then you can also start mixing these parts together from 2 different Axies. So let's say you have one that has, beach ball here. So you have one that has beach ball, and then you have one that has flower sunglasses. Well, if you breed the beach ball plus the flower sunglasses, and they're from two different Axies and you bring them together, you can breed those into the same Axie. So this is where it starts getting like more in depth, and you want to start breeding certain Axies together so you'll have the chance of getting all these parts. So it's in this event, it makes it pretty easy to obtain all 6 parts. It just requires you a lot of effort and a lot of time put in. So like if you really want to do and you want to get all 6 parts, you can start with all these Axies separately. Like you can start with all the parts separately, just like watermelon plus Unco. You can start with those separately. You can start with furball plus, balloon separately, and then you can mix and match those later on to hopefully get the chances that you can just breed it in. And even if you have a 35% chance, if you're breeding 4 to 5 times for these Axies, you have a pretty good chance that you're going to get one of them that has both parts that you're looking for. So the biggest thing that you're going to want to do for this is you're going to want to breed a absolute ton, and then you're going to want to combine Axies from different parts, so then you can have one Axie that has all the parts. And then also, once you get down to it and you have when 2 Axies with all 6 skins are bred together, you have a 5% chance of hitting shiny. So when you start getting down to this, which can happen pretty easily, it will only take you like 3 or 4 cycles and to really get to this point, and you have 50 days in this event. So if you're breeding 5 times, and let's say you're breeding out like all the parts by themselves, right? You can really get down to it pretty quickly. The biggest thing is the cost average for this. So if you go to Axie Tech has a pretty good tool for breeding simulator. So we're just gonna go to breeding cost, and let's say we were breeding with the breeding calculator. Let's say we're breeding 5 children off of each of them. We're not gonna worry about the cost of buying, but we're just gonna say we have the parents, right? So the cost calculation goes down a little bit. So we're spending about $140 if we're breeding 5 times. You can just breed 4 times if you want to. Let's go with 4 times because it's a little bit more reasonable. So yeah, this is way more reasonable. So let's just say we're breeding and it's costing us $88 per breed. We're going to times this by 6. So this is our initial upfront cost for trying to get the 6 parts. Then you're trying to combine all these parts together. So you got to do this number. You got to do 88 again times 3, because now you're combining parts together. So you're taking children from 2 different sets and you're combining them, and this is like a full hit, right? So now we have these 2 numbers, then we're gonna need to combine those together. So our total right now is 528 plus 64. So now we're at this. Now we have 3 Axies with 2 different parts each. So now we're going to combine those 2 Axies with 2 different parts each. So that means we're going to need to breed at least twice, and we're going to do it another 88. So now this is our next cost for the one. And then we would be breeding the one with 2 more into the one with 4. So we have the one with 4, and then we have the one with 2, and then we're trying to combine those. So we need 1 more breed plus 88. So our total cost expenditure, and this is if we hit everything, is 792, and this is not with buying any Axie. 792 plus 176 plus 88. So that would be our cost if we are breeding 4 times and we did hit. We're probably, the higher the number we go into though, like the more likely you're going to want to breed like an extra time if you don't hit to really get that back. And then also if you do hit, you probably can sell some of the children to make a little bit of your cost average back. But I would be expecting around $1,000 investment to kind of hit everything if you're trying to get a 6 out of 6. And that's if you, like I said, if you get super lucky, the chances are that you're going to be spending more like $2,000 to $3,000 to be really hitting what you want to do, because you're going to be combining all these children's together. So let's say you get lucky and on your breed, you get 2 out of 4 children that have the parts that you want. So you're going to want to take those 2 successful breeds and then breed them into 2 other body parts as well. So you're going to want to keep combining them to really try and increase your odds. And then if you're looking for the shiny as well, this number just goes up insane. This number skyrockets. But this is just like the baseline if you're trying to really breed out to get yourself a 6 out of 6. And then again, if you're breeding 2 or 3 parts together, that cuts down the cost a little bit, but then also the upfront cost of buying the Axies go up a little bit more. So it kind of balances itself out. And I would say probably you're going to add like $200 for Axies at this point as well. So you're probably looking at $1,200-ish, which isn't too bad. Isn't too bad to try and really get yourself a 6 out of 6. But yeah, so once you obtain a 6 out of 6, you're going to want another 6 out of 6 to combine those together. So you got to start 2 different breeding chains. So you would need at least 2,400 to start 2 breeding chains that hit to the Axie that you're looking for. So it can definitely get a little bit expensive. Also, another tip over here as well, you can use the breeding simulator. So let's go to my account. We have the Blossom plus Neo. So let's use these 2 as our starting points. These are the ones that we're trying to hit. We're trying to hit the Neo from this side. So for our breeding simulator, we're going to want to take it over to Axie Zone, and we're going to want to put in the 2 IDs here. And this way we can run our simulation. So you can see the odds if you want to check the odds real fast. To hit what we're looking for here, we have a 37% chance. So let's see if we bred 4 times. What are the odds that we actually hit the one that we're looking for? So I did 5 times this time. I got pretty lucky where I actually hit 4 out of the 5 that I was looking for. And then we hit one that, is not. And then also, again, you can just breed one of these children into another one as well. So you can breed into another one and keep the line going and have the chances that you're getting what you want. This one was actually a pretty good one because it bred into Furball. So then I could combine this Neo here with the Furball Axie to even have a better chance of getting what I was looking for. So this one was a pretty lucky hit, actually, because it rolled into 2 of the parts that I would have needed. But this just shows you like the odds. I mean, we can do this again and just see, how lucky that actually was. So again, it was pretty lucky. I only hit 1 time this time. And you can see I rolled into the cucumber slice, the 9% chances, a few times here with all 3 of these. So I only hit 1 out of 4. So it is a pretty lucky chance that you're going to actually hit what you want. And it's going to take a lot of effort. So I know like this breakdown is like a very rough estimate of like the basic. But that just kind of shows you a general guideline of how cheap it's going to be on the low end and how high it can start going if you're really trying to hit these 6 out of 6s. If you liked the video though, please leave it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.